Andrea starts off this hour in Dallas, Texas. Hey, Andrea, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Oh, Dave, it's good to talk to you again.
You too.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Well, thank you.
I don't know if you remember. I actually met you back in 2019 at your studio. My husband and I stopped by, and I'm a balloon artist. I made a bunch of balloons for your grandkids.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Darling, I'm sorry. I've met so many people I can't remember my name. But I'm glad you're here. How can we help?
Okay, well, I was hoping you could help me with a little disagreement I'm having with my husband. We've been married 10 years, and I have listened to you longer and got him on to the Total Money Makeover, and we followed you and were able to get debt-free.
Good.
And we like it. He likes it a lot.
Good.
But now we are having our second baby due in November, and he's having to work from home, and I'm nesting, and we feel like it's time to move up in house, and we have a little bit of a disagreement. I feel like I found like the ideal dream house, and he feels like it's too much, and it would cause us to have a mortgage again for a little while, and he just doesn't want to do that. And I'm just like, don't feel like I want to settle when we're going to be in the house hopefully a long time. So that's
okay. So what is your current home worth?
We are hoping after realtor fees that we can get about $300,000 out of it.
Okay. And what would the other house cost?
The other house that we're looking at, our realtor thinks we could get it if we made an offer for $495,000.
So a move of $200,000. Do you have any money saved above the $300,000?
We do. We've got our emergency fund of $16,000, which we're not going to touch.
Correct.
And then in other various accounts, we've managed to save up about a little over $100,000.
Okay, so you're only $100,000 in disagreement.
Basically.
Yeah. If you had another $100K, would he be okay with the $500,000 house?
He would be thrilled with it. His thing is like some of these things.
It's not too much house. It's no debt that he wants.
Right. It's not too much house. It's the no debt. He says, this house is fancy. It's a want. It's not a need. We shouldn't go into debt for a want.
Okay. And, okay. I got it. I got it. And so what's your household income?
So 2021, we did combined $101,000.
How quickly can you save $100,000?
I don't know. If we...
Less than 3 years, probably?
2 to 3 years.
2.5 years, maybe?
2 to 3 years.
Maybe.
No,
definitely.
definitely.
This year we're projected to do 119 to 126.
If you had to do it to save your life, you could save $100,000 in 2 years, but 3, you could definitely do it.
Okay.
Because you'd be living on beans and rice again in order to hit this goal. To do 2 years. 3 years, you can definitely do it. Okay? Or you can pick up, do you have anything else you can sell?
Oh, nothing that's like worth much. I mean,
you got expensive cars?
No, they're used cars, and they are paid off, and they're kind of old. And
okay, they're not expensive. Okay.
What about going to a $400,000 house and you pay cash for it? Have you looked into what that would look like?
We're still looking and keeping our eyes open. We haven't ruled it out.
Okay, so here's the deal. What we're really arguing about is not whether you have too much house. If I'm understanding your outline, what you're really arguing about is is whether we go in debt or not.
Right.
And your husband's going, I finally got free. I can't walk willingly into another bear trap. I can't do it. I can't swallow the pill. As much as I love you, as much as I want you to have what you want, I just can't go back there. It makes me throw up into my mouth.
Right. And then part of me is also like, inflation is going up, and what if I buy too much house, and then the country's gone crazy, and then I can't feed my kids.
You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. What you've got to worry about is what you can control. Your bottom line is you guys are arguing about $100,000 and 2 to 3 years. That's what you're arguing about. You're not really arguing about whether to move, if moving is valid, whether the $500,000 house is too big a house, we're really not arguing about any of those things. We're just $100,000 short of doing what you want to do, and you're willing to go in debt, and he's not.
Correct.
That's what it comes down to. And so once you quantify it that way, it gives you some real good points for discussion. I don't think either one of you are in the stupid zone with this. If you took out a little mortgage and paid it off real fast, it doesn't violate our guidelines. But I've got to personally agree with your husband. Once I got out of debt, you weren't going to drag me back in kicking and screaming under any circumstances. There wasn't anything Sharon wanted bad enough for me to do that, or I wanted bad enough for me to do that, ever. And I was actually more likely to want something than she was. But you couldn't get me to do it again. So I kind of understand where your husband's coming from. I don't think George and I have an answer for you.
There's no one right or wrong here. You guys have to get on the same page of whatever you do going forward.
And I don't think you're buying this house unless you both come into agreement. That's for sure.